So distribute, I get 2n plus 10 equals to negative 2. All right? And this is how I like to think about it, okay? If I focus on the yellow highlight, when I read it, the way I read it is n times 2, or you can say 2 times n. I like to always start with the variable. N times 2 plus 10. What is the last thing I said? Plus 10. Okay, the last thing I said was plus 10. And the last thing you do, or let me just say it this way. If the last thing I said was plus 10, how do you undo plus 10? Minus 10. You always focus on undoing the last thing, and the last thing I said was plus 10. So we undo that by minusing 10 to both sides. Okay, so now I get 2n. This cancels, negative 12. Now I have n times 2 equals to negative 12. So I divide by 2, and n equals to negative 6. Okay? All right. Let's look at this one. Actually, 9 is even easier. I'm going to minus 1 to both sides. Okay? I'm gonna get negative 9x. This cancels, equals to negative 81. Okay? And I'm going to divide both sides by negative 9. And I'm going to get x equals to positive 9. Okay? I am totally cool with everyone using a calculator. Okay? Totally cool with that. So if you don't have a calculator, you can go on Google and just type in Google calculator, and a calculator pops up. Okay, we'll actually be using this quite frequently. What you see on the screen, we're going to be using this quite frequently throughout the year. Okay, so I'm totally cool with everyone using a calculator. All right. Okay, number 10. All right. Again, how do you know what to do first? Okay, this is how I think about it. Like I said earlier. Okay, how do you read that yellow highlight? The way I read it is n divided by 2 minus 10. What is the last thing I said? The last thing I said is minus 10. The last thing you say, which is minus 10, is the first thing you do, okay, or the first thing you undo, I should say. So n divided by 2 minus 10 is the last thing I said. So the last thing I said is the first thing I undo. So I undo minus 10 by plus 10. Okay? And now I get 4 equals to n over 2, and divided by 2, I should say. What's the opposite of divided by 2 is times 2. Okay? And now, these cancel. Okay, and I get 8 over 1 equals to n. 8 over 1 is basically the same as 8. Okay, 8 over 1 is basically 8. All right, last one. Distribute. Okay, and I get 144 equals to negative 12x minus 60. All right. One second, I just thought of something that I wanted to go over. And I'm going to add 60 to both sides. Remember, the way I read it is x times negative 12 minus 60. What's the last thing I said? It was minus 60. That is the first thing that I do, the first thing that I undo. Okay, this becomes 204. This cancels, equals to negative 12x. Lastly, divide both sides by negative 12. Cancel, cancel, and I get negative 17. Done. So your answers are going to be in yellow. Okay?